Most people think walking is one of the safest and healthiest things they can do after 50, and in many ways, that is true. Walking can support the heart, improve circulation, keep the joints moving, and help the body stay active without too much strain. But here is the part many people miss. Not all walking helps the body in the same way. In fact, some everyday walking habits may be quietly making people feel older, stiffer, and more tired than they need to feel. And the strange thing is, these habits do not usually look dangerous at all. They look normal, comfortable, even harmless. That is exactly why they go unnoticed for so long. So in this video, let us look at 7 everyday walking habits that may be speeding up the aging process after 50. And number 6 is one that almost everybody overlooks. The first mistake is walking too little during the day. A lot of people take one short walk, maybe in the morning or after dinner, and then spend the rest of the day sitting. They may think that one walk is enough, but the body was not really designed to sit for long stretches and then suddenly move for a few minutes before sitting again. It works better when movement is spread throughout the day. Even short walks, taken more often, can help keep the body from tightening up. Because when people sit too long, the hips can get stiff, the lower back can start to feel tight, and the whole body can begin to feel slower than it should. That is one reason some people start to feel older even when they are still trying to stay active. It is not always about age itself. Sometimes it is about how little the body is being asked to move between long periods of sitting. That is why small moments of movement matter. A short walk to the door, a few minutes around the house, a gentle stroll after meals. These little movements can add up more than people realize. The second mistake is walking with poor posture. This is a big one. A person may be walking every day, but if they are hunched over, looking down, or carrying tension in the shoulders, the body is not moving as smoothly as it should. Over time, that kind of walking can make everything feel harder. Breathing may feel less open. The back may feel more strained. The neck and shoulders may carry more tension. And the walk that was supposed to help the body ends up adding extra stress instead. Good posture does not mean standing stiff like a robot. It just means letting the body line up in a more natural way. The head up, the shoulders relaxed, the chest open, the body balanced. That kind of walking does not just look better. It often feels better too. And after 50, that matters a lot, because small changes in movement can have a bigger effect than many people expect. The third mistake is walking too fast all the time. This surprises some people because they assume faster always means better. But walking is not a race. If every walk feels rushed, tense, or exhausting, the body never really gets a chance to relax into the movement. And that can make a healthy habit feel stressful instead of restoring. After 50, the goal is not to prove how hard the body can be pushed. The goal is to move in a way that supports energy, balance, and comfort. A steady pace is often better than a forced pace. A walk that feels controlled and smooth is usually more useful than one that leaves the person tired before they are even halfway done. This does not mean slow is always best. It simply means the pace should match the body, not fight it. Because when walking turns into constant rushing, people often start using poor form without even noticing it, and that can create more strain than benefit. The fourth mistake is taking tiny, shuffling steps. This one is easy to miss because it looks so small. But the way a person steps changes the whole quality of the walk. Some people begin taking very short steps, either because they feel stiff, cautious, or simply used to moving that way. Over time, that shuffling pattern can make the body feel less fluid. It can make walking look less natural, and sometimes it can even make movement feel more effortful than it should. Natural steps are usually smoother and more efficient. Not exaggerated, not overly long, just natural. A walk should feel like the body is moving with some rhythm, not dragging itself from one step to the next. And this is one of the reasons people sometimes do not notice how much their walking has changed over the years. They get used to the smaller steps. They get used to the stiffness. They get used to feeling a little less free in motion. But getting used to it does not mean it is ideal. Sometimes it only means the body has adapted to a habit that is quietly making movement less efficient. The fifth mistake is wearing the wrong shoes. A lot of people do not think about shoes very much when they walk. They just wear whatever is available, whatever feels familiar, or whatever has lasted the longest. But shoes matter more than many people realize. If the shoes are flat, worn out, too hard, or poorly fitted, every step can place extra stress on the feet and lower body. And when the feet are not supported well, that stress does not stay in the feet. It can move upward into the knees, hips, and back. That is why some walking habits seem harmless at first, but slowly create more discomfort over time. The body is always responding to the surface it stands on and the shoes it wears. So even if the walk itself is good, the wrong shoes can quietly work against it. The best shoes do not need to be expensive or fancy. They just need to help the body move more comfortably and more steadily. Because when the base is off, everything above it has to work harder. And that is where the next mistake becomes even more important, because it is one many people never think about. Walking should feel simple, but simple does not always mean automatic. Sometimes the little details matter more than the big ones. And in the next part, we are going into the walking mistakes that are even more overlooked, including the one that sounds healthy at first, but may actually be doing the most damage over time. The sixth mistake is one that almost everyone overlooks. Doing the exact same walk, at the exact same pace, on the exact same route, every single day. At first, it feels like a good thing. It feels consistent, comfortable, predictable, and consistency is important. But when movement becomes too repetitive, the body stops being challenged in useful ways. It adapts to that one pattern, and over time, it becomes less responsive. The same muscles are used in the same way. The same rhythm is repeated again and again, and slowly, the walk that once felt energizing can begin to feel routine and less effective. After 50, the body responds well to gentle variety. Not extreme changes, just small differences. A slightly different route, a small incline, a change in pace for a few minutes, even a brief, slower section followed by a slightly quicker one. These small adjustments can wake the body up. They can encourage better coordination, better balance, and a more active walking pattern, because the body tends to age faster when it is no longer being asked to adapt. Not in a harsh way, but in a gentle, consistent way. Variety gives the body a reason to stay engaged, and sometimes that is all it needs. The seventh mistake is walking while ignoring pain or stiffness. This one is very common. A person feels a little discomfort in the knee, a bit of tightness in the hip, some stiffness in the lower back. But instead of paying attention to it, they continue walking the same way, day after day, hoping it will simply go away on its own. And sometimes it does, but sometimes it does not. Because discomfort is often the body's way of asking for a small adjustment, a change in pace, a change in posture, a bit more rest, or even just awareness. Ignoring those signals for too long can make movement feel more restricted over time. What starts as a small issue can slowly become something that affects confidence, balance, and overall comfort. That does not mean every small ache is something serious, but it does mean the body should not be ignored, especially after 50, when recovery may take a little longer than it used to. Paying attention early is often easier than dealing with a bigger issue later, and that brings everything together, because walking itself is not the problem. Walking is one of the most natural and helpful movements the body can do. The difference is in how it is done. Small habits shape the experience. Walking a little more often instead of sitting for long periods, standing a bit taller instead of slouching forward, moving at a pace that feels steady instead of rushed, taking natural steps instead of shuffling, wearing shoes that support the body instead of working against it, adding small variations instead of repeating the exact same pattern every day. And listening to the body instead of ignoring what it is trying to say. These are not big changes. They are small adjustments. But small adjustments, repeated over time, can change how the body feels in a very real way. Because aging is not only about time, it is also about how the body is used, how it moves, how it adapts, and how it is cared for in everyday moments. Walking can support the body. It can help maintain energy. It can help keep movement feeling smoother and more natural, but only when the habits around it are working in the right direction. So the question becomes simple. Is the way you walk helping your body feel more capable? Or is it quietly training it to feel older than it needs to feel? That answer is often hidden in the smallest details. And once those details are noticed, they can be changed. Not all at once, just one at a time. And sometimes that is enough to make walking feel different again. Lighter, easier, more natural. The way it was always meant to feel. And in the next video, we will look at the everyday morning habits that quietly drain energy before the day even begins. Because what happens in the first hour of the day often shapes how the body feels for the rest of it. Thanks for watching True Health Tales. If this helped you, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss the next truth.